Hello friends, welcome to our channel Key of Education Zone. Today we will learn the security threats on e-commerce. What is e-commerce? That you know very well. Now what's the security threats? That means when the server is connected to any type of client computer, when the client computer gives any requisition or any other thing, any other information through the channel, there somebody can hack, somebody can misuse. So to prevent that, we need some security. From where we need the security, what's the threats? At first we have to know that, and how can I control that? That will be our today's topic. Now before starting, I want to tell you, like and share this video. And obviously those who are not yet subscribed our channel, subscribe and press the bell icon to get the all lectures at first. So let's start today's topic, that is security threats of e-commerce. What is this security threats? We already discussed that when something is going on in between, that is any e-commerce is going on, any telecommunication link is coming, there we need some security measures, and that is implemented by that. Now what type of threats may come to our side? At first we should know that. First one, what's the threat is coming? That is our client threats. What's this client threat? Until this introduction of the execution of web content, web pages are mainly static. Now code in HTML, static pages could do the little more than display content and provide link to related pages with additional information. However, the web spread use the active content has changed, and we get this perception is known that the client threats. That means at a time we can say client threats is that where the static pages is modified by some other features or other codes. Next one, that is the active content. What's that? Active content refers, that means the program that are embedded transparently in the web pages and that cause the action to occur. The active content can display moving graphics, download, play, audio, or implement web-based spreadsheets program. The active content is used in e-commerce to place items one wishes to purchase into the shopping carts and to compute the total invoice amount, including sales tax, handling and shipping cost. It is best active content forms JavaScript, ActiveX controls, VBScript, etc. that create obviously another threats to the e-commerce. Now the third one means that is the malicious codes. Now what's this malicious codes? This malicious codes, the computer virus, worms, Trojan horse are examples of this malicious codes. A Trojan horse is a program which performs the useful functions but performs unexpected actions as well. So the virus is a code segment which replicates by attaching copies of the extensible files. Any worm is a program which replicates itself and cause execution of new copy that also create trouble. Next one, that is server-side masquerading. What's that? Actually, it means any victim into the believing that entity with which it is communicating is a different entity. For example, I am taking, if a user tries to log into a computer across the internet but instead reaches another computer that claims to desired one, and the user has been spoofed, these may passive attack, which is create the usual active attack. Next, the next one we have to discuss, that is communicational channel threats. Communicational channel threats means the internet services as the electronic chain linking consumers or the customers to the e-commerce reuse resources. They are reusing that. That means the messages on the internet travel random path from a source node to the destination node. Now the message through this, when it is passed through a number of intermediate computers on the network before reaching the final destination, it is impossible to guarantee that every computer on the internet through which it is passes is safe, secure. So that may create some threats. Next one, confidentiality threats. Confidentiality threats means it is the prevention of unauthorized information disclosed. Branching confidentiality on internet is not difficult. Suppose one log into one website, say www.xyz, that contain the form of the text box for the name, address, email, etc. Now when one fills out this text box and click to submit button, this information sent to the web server processing. One popular method of transmitting data is going on. The web servers is collecting the box response. Now then at the end of the target server's URL is captured. All the data is lost. There are some protocols also. We have the captured data and the HTTP request, send the data to the server. It is now, if somebody is there, suppose some user changes his mind, decide not to wait response of this servers, then they jump to another site and the server, some company choose to collect the web graphics or the demo graphics of this URL. It creates the trouble. Next one, that is integrity threats. The integrity threats exist when unauthorized party can alter the message stream of the information. An unprotected banking transaction are subject to integrity violation. The server and the cyber vandalism are the examples of this integrity violation. And this is the integrity threats. Next one, that is our availability threats. What's this availability threats? The purpose of availability threats is known as delay or denial threats. It is also disturb the normal computer processing and deny the process entity. For example, I am taking if you are processing the speed of a single ATM machine transaction slows from 1 or 2 seconds to up to 30 seconds, and the user abandon the ATM machines is entirely stopped. And right now, similarly showing another internet service will drive the customer and creates the threats. I think you can able to get right now what is this availability threats. Next one, that is server threats. What's the server threats? Actually, when anything of up to this level, you know several threats. I am here try to discuss about all the threats what's come to disturb us. Nextly, how can we get this rescue, that we will discuss. So our right now point is server threats. Server threats is the third link client internet server trio embodying e-commerce path in between the user and the commerce server. So the server have just they can exploit anyone to determine the cause of destruction and illegally acquire the information. That may comes there telling server threats. That means we are giving the client server internet this trio embedding commerce path if we have, and the server violating the rules of exploiting any type of determined paths, then it will be the server threats. Next, web server threats. Be clear about the server threats and web server threats. These are very similar but not the same. Web server is a software is designed to deliver web pages by responding to the HTTP request. When web server software is not inherently high risk, at that moment it is in design the web page services convenience to the main design goal. The more complex software is, higher probability that it contains coding error and security holes. The security weakness that provide the opening through which we are getting entered to the system. That creates the web server threats. Be clear what is server threats and what is web server threats. Server threats, that is when the trio embedding system, client, server and internet is coming, there the threats is coming. And web server is a software based threat. Okay, next one, that is commerce server threats. Commerce server threats, commerce server along with the web server respond to requests from the web browser through the HTTP protocol and CGI script that several prices and several pieces of the software companies or the comprises software parts to the web server and the software suites. It includes the FTP server, mail server, remote login server, operating system on host machines. Each of this software can have the security holes and bugs. This creates the commerce server. Next one, database threats. E-commerce system stores the data and retrieve product information fundamentals connected to the web servers. Now, besides this product information, databases are connected to web contain valuable private information that could inadvertently damage the company if it is disclosed, and that is known as our database threats. Some database stored in username, password or etc. It is secured, and when it is disclosed in non-secure way, then somebody can obtain the user authentication information and he or she is get locked by any other person, and it hampers the database. That is known as database threats. Now the next one we have to discuss, that is common gateway interface threat or commonly gateway interface threats. What's that? A common gateway interface (CGI) implements the transfer of information from web server to another program, such as a database program. Now the CGI and the program to which they transfer the data provide active content to the web pages, because the CGI or the programs are present in the security threats if misused. Just like the web server, CGI script can set up the run with the privilege or set the high unconstructed way, then it will create the trouble. Next one, that is password hacking. Password hacking, I don't have to say, this term is known to everybody, that the simplest attack against the password based system to guess the password. By guessing the password, required access, complement and the complementation function and authentication function be obtained, and that will be stolen. If none of this have changed by the time of password is guessed, then hackers can hamper your password and your security. That is also password hacking. So what's the different types of threats? It is right now clear to you. Now obviously against the threats we need the security requirements. Right now we will try to discuss about this security requirement for e-commerce. So until we able to teach you or I tell you different way, what way your e-commerce system will be hampered, that the threats. Next, our discussion topic is security requirement. What's this security requirement that we will right now discuss? Now the security requirements, first terms is coming authentication. What is this authentication? This is the ability to say electronic communication does genuinely come from whom to who it is proponed to, and without face-to-face contact, passing oneself off someone else is not difficult through the internet. Now the online commerce based on this distance, so if it is post anything, then it must be authenticated. Then the authority such as VeriSign, etc., they will be there, and although anyone can guarantee, no one can guarantee, then till also by some digital certificates or by some digital authentication, it will be maintained the proper authentication of e-commerce. That means the genuinity of both sides. There may be involved some pins, some OTP, some fingerprints, some retina scan, whatever, but it will create some authentication. Next one, that is privacy. What's this privacy? Privacy is the ability to ensure the information is accessed and changed only by the authorized parties. Typically, it is archived via encryption. The sensitive data such as credit card details, etc., are encrypted before transmission, and through the open internet it will be decrypted by the specific person. That is the privacy. Now there's the same way the authorization is also we have to maintain, and obviously the integrity should be. Now especially we have to discuss the security policy of e-commerce. What's the security policy? The security policy is telling that what service user can get. That means whatever you want, that specification will be there by obviously some protocols, just like FTP, SMTP. This all are FTP means the full form known to everybody, that is file transfer protocol. These type of protocols, that means a set of rules is given whenever you are trying to access for your purpose and also from the server purpose. Now what class of information exists within the organization and which should be encrypted before transmission, that also maintain. What the client data does organization hold and how sensitive it is, that also you have to check. What class of employees may remote access to those corporate network, that also be checked here. And so these rules are there. These are the responsibilities some persons should be there who can able to get. Now that way we can use the security policy for the e-commerce. Next, the very vital terms is coming to ourselves, that is firewall. What is this firewall? Actually the terms firewall means, that is by the name you can able to get firewall. That means when somebody try to enter, they will fired. What does that mean? That means whenever you are try to enter any type of misuse purpose, that it will be breaked. Now there are different types: network layer firewall, application layer, proxy server, and the network access translation. We will discuss that in our next lecture. Now we have to discuss about the digital signature. Digital signature is an authenticate thing, that digitized way it will give you the authentication. That means when the digital signature is coming, you can able to say it is a mathematical scheme. Actually it demonstrating that the authenticity of is there. So when this is coming, then you can say that the digital signature, it is gives you the recipient reason that you can able to trust, you can able to believe, because who are sending this, they are taking the total responsibility of that. There only the digital signatures come. It is not a message, but it is a message who told you that your message is authenticate. The digital signature are commonly used in the software distribution, financial transactions, and any other cases where the important detect or tampering is possible. To secure that only, we are using the digital signature. Now, digital signature schemes are typically consist of 3 algorithms. We will follow that algorithms in another digital signature consisting lecture. But what is the digital signatures application? It will show you the authentication. Obviously it will show you the integrity. That means what we are authorizing, that total integrity will comes to our side. So the digital signature is given means it will say you it is the encrypted via a signature for the digitization, and it will say you the security maximum level. That means the total authentication will be there. So that is nothing but our digital signature. Now nextly we have to discuss, when we are discussing regarding this digital signature, obviously the next terms is coming to our side, that is digital signatures type. What's that? There are different types or different applications of digital signature. These are authentication purpose. Whatever we discussed, therefrom we can able to say that authentication of digital signature is the main one point. Next one, integrity. Obviously, whenever many scenarios has come from the sender and the receiver message, maybe need the confidence at that level that can be given by the integrity. Next one discussion, that is our non-repudiation. Non-repudiation, more specifically non-repudiation of the origin. It is more important aspect of the digital signature. By this property, an entity has signed some information cannot later be denied by this who signed it. Similarly, the access of public key only does not enable the others party to validate the signature. That means these are the very basic and very used application of digital signature. Now the next part what we have to discuss, that is nothing but digital certificate. What is this digital certificate? Actually, the digital certificates, that means any type of electronic document to prove ownership of a public key. The certificate includes information about the key, information about owner's identity, and the digital signature of an entity that has verified the certificate's content are correct. If the signature is valid and the person examining the correct certificate trusted by the signatures and they know that they can use it, that key is communicate with its owners. Then only for this, that means we can say that electronic documents used to prove its ownership of public key, and there will be the digital signature through which you can able to authenticate this, then that will be known as the digital certificates. Now the specific content of the digital certificates are, that is, we have to discuss about this, that the serial number, the certificate subject, signatures algorithm, signature, issuer, certificate, valid up to the key users, the public key, the thumbprint algorithm, the thumbprint also known as fingerprint. These all specifically gives you the discussion, the content of digital certificates. I think right now you can able to get what is e-commerce threats and security. Thank you for listening this video.